There are some encounters in life that stay with you forever. Moments that seem ordinary at first, until years later, when you realize there may have been something supernatural hidden within them. This story was shared by a man who still cannot explain what happened. Several years before he married his wife, the two of them were driving home from a weekend trip. The sun was beginning to set, casting long shadows across the riverfront as they decided to stop for a few minutes and enjoy the view. The water was calm, the evening was peaceful. They sat quietly in the car, talking about their future and enjoying each other's company. Then a woman appeared. She was an older black woman riding a bicycle along the river path. Nothing about her seemed unusual at first. She slowly pedaled toward their car, stopped beside the driver's window, and asked if they had any spare change. She explained that she had an important appointment to get to and needed a little help. The young man reached into the small change holder in his car and poured everything he had into her hand. The woman smiled warmly. Then she leaned closer through the open window. "I want you to know something," she said softly. "God is going to bless you greatly." The words seemed strangely powerful. As she spoke, the young man noticed something odd. The woman had been smoking a cigarette when she rode up. Yet there was no smell of smoke. Instead, a beautiful fragrance surrounded her. It was unlike anything he had ever smelled before. Then he looked into her eyes. They were the most striking blue eyes he had ever seen. For a moment, he couldn't look away. The woman smiled one final time, climbed back onto her bicycle, and disappeared down the river path. The couple talked about the encounter for a while, but eventually, life moved on. Years passed. They got married. Then came devastating news. Doctors told them that having children would be extremely difficult. The odds were against them. Months turned into years as they wrestled with disappointment, heartbreak, and unanswered prayers. Eventually, they began to accept that parenthood might never happen. Then something impossible happened. His wife became pregnant, against all expectations, against every prediction. Months later, a healthy baby girl was born. Their miracle had arrived. One afternoon, while his wife rested with the newborn, the man walked down to the hospital cafeteria to grab a meal. The cafeteria was nearly empty. He sat alone, exhausted but overwhelmed with gratitude. As he ate, an elderly couple walked slowly past his table. The woman suddenly stopped. She turned and looked directly at him. The man froze. His heart began to pound. Those eyes, the same brilliant blue eyes. Impossible. The elderly woman smiled gently. Then she reached out and patted his hand. "I told you," she whispered. "God would bless you." Before he could respond, she continued walking. The man sat there in stunned silence. He looked around the cafeteria, trying to process what had just happened. Who was she? How could she know? Was she the same woman from the riverfront years earlier? And if so, how? For several weeks, he told no one, not even his wife. He feared people would think he was imagining things, but eventually he shared the story. And to this day, neither of them can explain what happened. Some believe it was simply a coincidence. Others believe it was an angel sent by God. Hebrews 13:2 says, "Do not forget to entertain strangers, for by so doing, some have unwittingly entertained angels." Whatever the explanation may be, one thing remains certain. A stranger appeared beside a river and promised a blessing. Years later, after a miracle child was born against impossible odds, a woman with the same unforgettable blue eyes appeared once more. Just long enough to remind him that God had kept his promise. And then she was gone. Do you believe this man encountered an angel? Or was there another explanation for the mysterious woman with the blue eyes? Let us know your thoughts.